On taking down the decorations a day late. We got to it this morning, ripping down their Hello Kitty reliefs and cinema roll lights from their masking tape moorings on the wall, stacked the cards with their repeated motifs of trees, bearded men and penguins, and scribbled pleasantries that will never be read again. Stripped the tiny fake tree and closed it up like a dried out brolly to slide into a thin box that stacks neatly within a bigger one. It's January now, here to remind us how bleak a beginning can be. For the daffodils might shoot up earlier each year, but never this early. They're hunkered down deep but will break their thresholds before we can clamber out of our overdrafts. Whatever djinn of bad fortune has been keeping his eyes peeled for the household that hasn't yet flung a stunted conifer beyond their threshold, may his gaze miss our poky little hearth. The year that's gone was unlucky enough, and we're not asking for loaded dice, roll-over jackpots, or for every dropped slice to land butter side up. Just let us pack the old year into another little box, sprinkle a pinch of dust to aid a slight, subtle forgetting. Let our delusions remain hopes a little longer.
Hello mate, sorry to bother you. I'm not too close to where I live. I think that's why I've picked this spot. It is near where I do my shop though. So I'm not quite defecating where I eat. I'm defecating where I shop instead. It's the 6th of January, so the Christmas decorations have come down. All the posh people are just like chucking their Christmas trees out into the street, and all the paths are just littered with Christmas trees that slowly accumulate dog wee as well. And I have to make a decision because I haven't shaved. Is this a beard year? Last year was a beard-free year, and this year I just think it could be another beard year. But the missus doesn't like beards. Mrs. O'Sullivan doesn't like the beards. She doesn't like my scratchy face. So, but I quite like just filling it in. I feel like I've got too much face these days. I feel like I want to cut down and conceal some of the face. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm going to keep walking. I've got to get a few more things. I'm going to get some notebooks, and then I'm probably going to walk back either through an alleyway which is near a bit of some grounds which are sort of recreation grounds that are normally quite kind of not very occupied, not very busy, which is quite good. But the problem with recreational grounds that aren't very busy is there's more chance of like one bloke turning up with his face-eating dog. So there's privacy, but there's more risk of getting my face eaten randomly at any particular time. So I might go there and film, or there's another pathway which is like kind of by some private schools, and so I'm very happy to defecate there. The private schools own most of this area. They own the leasehold. They own the land basically. So everyone who buys a house, which is not me, but if you do buy property around here, you get a leasehold off them, really. They're the ones that own it. So they're very powerful, and they're just the charity, in inverted commas, that runs the 2 private schools in the area. No, 3 private schools. You're probably guessing where I live now anyway. Anyway, there's a table tennis table with some pigeons around it. Whoa, mate. No. I'm looking at you, mate. So I just got into an altercation with White Van Man because I was crossing the road after this massive IKEA lorry and he was behind it, and so he was stopped at the road, and I started to cross behind him, and then he started slowly reversing into me. So I sort of crossed the rear road and I looked at him, and he was your typical kind of gammony white van man. Probably could have quite easily taken care of me in a fight, to be honest. but I'm stubborn. So I think he asked me what the am I looking at, and I just did the usual "I'm looking at you" response, and it carried on. I should have kept on pointing the camera at him, but I just kind of forgot I was using it. So that's my little story, I suppose. I think I've at least got the sound footage, so that should be an entertaining bit of drama. So I am going by the posh school. I've got a couple of stories to tell about this place. The first one is I used to go to take my kid to speech therapy when she was younger, and because she wasn't quite at the same kind of level with everyone else's speech development. We weren't really panicking about it, but we took her to speech therapy. Well, what happened was that ultimately we got to the end of a very productive session. So that's the grounds of the one private school. No, it's the same private school. So those are the grounds. I'll tell you about something I saw on those grounds in a minute. And there's the other grounds. There we go, posh school, run by a foundation that basically owns a lot of the area. So anyway, we're at the end of this session, and she just decides to start doing a wee. So I do what this kind of weird defensive dad thing where I lift her up and I kind of put her over me, and I just take one for the team. So rather than have her pee all over this lovely office, all over this kind of soft alphabet matting, I take the pee, and my jeans get soaked. And then I was very apologetic. Luckily I brought a change of clothes for her, so I get her changed. And then as we walk out of a centre into a street with a few passers by, and I'm there with my jeans soaked with wee, she suddenly becomes very articulate and announces, "Daddy did a wee," to everyone around. So that's number one. Number two is that field I just pointed out. I was walking back with her one time, and a massive military helicopter just landed there in the middle of that field, and there were loads of pupils just waiting, and they just went and then the pilot got out and they chatted to him. So I was just kind of rubbernecking and watching that, and I realised what was happening was that was an ex-student who joined the RAF and become an elite helicopter pilot. And yeah, just that's what happens at posh schools. Just former pupils just decide to land in fields in massive military helicopters, and I guess their superiors were like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, just land it there, whatever." Yeah, maybe that guy, maybe their superior was an old boy too. I really wish I'd filmed that altercation better. I don't know. I'm not a brave man. I wasn't preparing for a fight, but I don't know. I'm an idiot. I don't back down either. Next time you see me, I'll either have a beard or I won't have a beard. So I'm just going to leave it on that note of suspense. Have a good one.